Are you struggling with figuring out shortcuts and ways to do things quicker in Canva? Are you doing things that you feel like just are taking so much longer and you know there has to be a quicker way to do it? In this video, I'm going to show you some time-saving tips, tricks, and shortcuts. These are perfect for the beginning Canva user. My name is Willow, and my channel is dedicated to helping everyone learn the amazing things you can do with Canva. As a daily Canva user for almost 9 years, I know how frustrating it can be when a project seems to take forever, and you know there has to be a quicker way to do things. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks that I use on a daily basis to make my projects just go a little faster and make them a little easier to get done. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every week when a new tutorial comes out. If you're completely brand new to using Canva, you'll want to watch this video to get you started. It goes over all the basics of Canva. So the tips and tricks that I'm going to show you today are perfect for beginners. And the first ones I want to show you are super easy. Click on your artboard, press the letter C. C for circle. It automatically adds a circle to your artboard, and you can drag and drop it wherever you want. The next one, click on your artboard, press the letter R. It automatically adds a rectangle to your artboard. And like any other element, grab the corner and shrink it down to the size you want, drag and drop it wherever you want. The next one I want to show you, you'll use a lot. Select your element, press Control and D, and it duplicates your element. Drag and drop it wherever you want. Now to tilt your element, grab this circle with the arrows and drag your mouse. You'll notice the numbers on the screen. That's the degree of the angle that the element is at. Once you get it where you want it, just drop it. And like any other element, you can stretch it out, pulling on the circles and the white bars on the side of the element box. The next one, click on your artboard, press the letter T. T for text. It automatically adds a text box to your artboard. And you can pull on the white circle to make it the size you want, drag and drop it where you want it. And since the text is already highlighted, you can type in what you want. Now, click on your artboard again, press the letter T for another text box, and notice this time it has added the text in the same size as the previous box. Drag and drop it where you want and type in whatever you want the text box to say. If you're on an element and you want to scroll through the elements without having to click around, tab, and it moves through the elements on your board. So for the next one, I'm going to duplicate this text box with Control D, and I'm going to drag it over here, highlight the text, type in what I want it to say. Now for this one, I need to change the font to be able to show you the shortcuts. Come here to the drop-down menu for font, the font you want, and notice down here, you get this box that says Change All. If you click on Change All, that changes all the text boxes on your design at one time. So click on your artboard, click on your text box, hold down Control, push B, it automatically bolds your text. Control and I, and it will italicize your text. If you push Control U, it will underline your text. Control Shift K will automatically change it to all capital letters. Control Z, also called Control Z, will undo your last edit. And in Canva, this button here is your Control Z button. It will undo your last edit. But if you get used to using Control Z, you will find that it is quicker to do it that way. Control Y will redo the last edit. Canva has this button up here, but if you get used to using the Control Y, you will find that it is quicker. And then if you want to zoom in on your screen, you can hold this black circle and move it up and down the artboard so you can zoom in and out on your board. You also have shortcut text keys for that. Control minus will zoom out. Control plus will zoom in. If you're finding this tutorial helpful, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every week when a new tutorial comes out. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to add this graphic. With the graphic selected, press the right arrow key, moves it to the right 1 pixel, and each arrow key, if you push the arrow, it moves it 1 pixel at a time. If you hold down Shift and the arrow, it moves it 10 pixels at a time. And of course, you can drag and drop the graphic wherever you want it. For the next one, we're going to add another graphic. This up here, shrink it down a bit, select the graphic, hold down the Shift key and select this graphic. It now groups them together so you can move them wherever you want. As long as they're still grouped, grab this circle and you can shrink them down together to make them the size you want. I'm going to select this one again and Shift, and then I'm going to go to the position button and I'm going to click center. It centered this graphic in the middle of this one. Quick and easy. For the next one, we're going to go to the Elements tab. I'm going to click on the line button and I'm going to click D for duplicate multiple times. I'm going to select this element. I'm going to delete it with this button very quickly. I'm going to also grab this one, pull it down. So this is where I want the top one. And then I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to scroll down over all of these lines. And then I'm going to go to position again and I'm going to click tidy up. Notice the button, it automatically spaces out the lines and makes them equal and lines them up all at once. You can click this button and it will group them all together. You can also click ungroup and it ungroups them. The keyboard shortcut for this is going to be Control G, and then to ungroup, Control G again. We want to group them. We're going to hit Control G again, and notice they're all grouped together. When you grab the box, it moves all of them together and keeps the spacing and alignment equal. And once you group elements together, they basically become one element. And pro tip here, when you have multiple lines like this, it is best to go on and group them because it is so easy to accidentally grab one line and pull it out of sync. I've learned this the hard way and probably done it over 100 times. So now I just group all of my lines together. For the next shortcut, we're going to add this graphic and let's shrink it down to the size we want. Okay, this is where we want it. And notice it's covering up the line. And we actually want this folder graphic to be behind the line. And you have several options to do that. You can right click, scroll down and click send backwards. You can go to the position button and click backwards, or quick and easy to move it, control right facing bracket, and it automatically puts that element behind the line. Since we've gotten the folder moved behind our lines, I'm going to grab the lines, move them down just a bit where I want them to appear on the folder graphic. And then I'm going to hit Shift and select the folder, Control G, and group them to make them now one element. And then I'm going to click on the artboard again, and I'm going to click T, and then I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate, and then I'm going to take my mouse and scroll down over all of the text boxes so that I select them all together, and I'm going to move them up onto the graphic here. Okay, so you'll notice that some of the letters do not line up just the way we want them to on the lines. And this is where your arrow key comes in super handy. So select this text box, click the down arrow, and notice it's moving at 1 pixel at a time. So once you get your text exactly where you want it on the line, go to the next one and do the same thing again. And then this text box is a little lower than the other ones, so we want to click the up arrow until it looks exactly the same. So that arrow key is super handy for fine-tuning your designs. Now, if we wanted to select all of these text boxes quickly by scrolling over the mouse, and we went here to scroll down over the text boxes, notice we're grabbing the file folder, which it moves the folder and the line. Let go of it, Control Z, and it puts it right back where you wanted it. Go up here to the right-hand corner and notice this lock. The lock is currently opened. Watch what happens when I click it. The lock closes. And then if you look at this element box, you'll notice that there's a locked icon in the bottom right corner of the element box. So now you cannot move the folder element or the line. I'm also going to add this graphic and this one. The color scheme is a little off. To quickly fix that, I'm going to select my circle, hold down Shift, select my square, and select my rectangle. And then I'm going to go to my color button and I'm going to pick a color. And notice it changes all three of those elements elements at the same time. I'm also going to fix my font because if you notice, this one is bold and underline and italic and all capitals, and it's different than these other two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this text box, shift, select this text box and this text box. So now I have all three text boxes selected. I'm going to go to the font and I'm going to select the font that I like. It changes all three text boxes at the same time. And I'm going to go to my color button, change the color. Notice it changes all three at the same time. Control K and Control Y do not work when multiple text boxes are selected. In order to quickly fix this text box, I'm going to click on this button. This button changes it from uppercase to lowercase, and now they're all the same. The next tip, the starred folder, to save elements that you want to be able to reuse, but you also need to know how and where to find that folder. Click more and notice you have this button here with the file folder icon and it says folder. Click this button. It adds it to your left sidebar and opens this menu, and you will see this icon with the star and it says starred next to it. Click that. That opens the folder for all of your starred elements. This is where you'll find them. This button will stay in your left sidebar so you can click on it and quickly and easily open this folder. Now you might notice that this particular element right here has the Canva watermark on it. That's because that is a pro account element. So if you star a pro account element, it will give you a heads up in this starred folder that it's a pro account feature. Now I use a pro account, so if I click on this and it adds it to my artboard, you will see that the watermark has disappeared. If I were using a free account and I wanted to use this element again, I would have to pay for a one-time use purchase. Even if you have paid to use this graphic in a previous design, you're not actually purchasing the element. You are purchasing a one-time use. So that's another great reason that the pro account comes in super handy, and you will find a link to a free 30-day trial of the Canva Pro in the description below. So the final tip that I have for you this week is probably my favorite, and that is the desktop version of Canva. A lot of people don't know that Canva offers a free desktop version. I use the desktop version of Canva and I truly positively love it. Everything I do in the desktop version is available in the online version as well as the phone app version. If you want to download the desktop version of Canva from the online version, you want to go to the features tab and it opens this menu, and then you're going to go to the right and you'll see here where it says download, and then you can download the desktop for PC or Mac. I really hope you found this tutorial of tips and tricks for beginners to be super helpful. If you found value in this video, be sure to hit subscribe and that notification bell so you'll be notified every week when a new tutorial comes out. I genuinely love being able to help other people learn all the amazing things you can do with Canva. Be sure to grab your quick start guide to using Canva. This will really help you with the basic foundations of Canva. And I'll put a link below in the description. You'll also find a link to my 223 Canva Elements keywords. Be sure to grab that. I'd love to know what your favorite tip or shortcut is. Please post below in the comments. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to post them. I'll answer them just as quickly as I can. And if I don't know the answer, we'll come up with a way to find it. I can't wait to see you again next week. And until then, have a great week and enjoy your Canva.